Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, and Star Trek Terra Incognita, issue number 5. All right, baby. So this was a good issue, and the ending was like, oh, finally. So the Tipton brothers, Scott and David, wrote this comic book story and art. There's story art by Angel Hernandez. They got really weird ways of explaining this. The colors are by Mark Roberts. Neil Uyetake did the lettering, and bang, yeah, there we go. So basically, there's this alien race, and they seem to be getting a fever every so often. And when they get that fever, they irrevocably turn into these red-skinned monsters that are trying to choke everybody out. There was a really funny scene in here where Lieutenant Worf, had to actually save Lieutenant Barclay, and it was really funny. I laughed out loud. You know what I'm saying? Glad that my side door over here was closed. Otherwise, wake up the family in the middle of the night. But this was a funny, that was a very funny line. I liked that. So you actually get to see Lieutenant Worf. Okay, I really need you to prepare yourself for this, because if you're a Star Trek Next Generation fan like me, you know that Lieutenant Worf is a guy who talks really tough, but he's the biggest puss on the entire ship. He's always getting punked out, right? Well, Worf is actually tough as nails in this. Straight up, man. He's just housing people, like hand to hand, So this, oh God, I love this book, man. I straight love this book. The way that they figure out how to solve this, well, honestly, the way they figured out how to solve this was not only rudimentary, but it was predictable. I figured out what the problem was, not how to solve it, because there's obviously going to be a fake explanation, whatever it is that they're using. It's going to be some alien, study in order to fix things. They had something called a mercy grenade. Like, what the heck is that? Anyway, it was cool that the way that they not the way they handled this, but how they went about the process. The in-your-face attitudes of both Worf and Dr. Crusher, Beverly Crusher, how they got in each other's faces and neither would back down. I really did like that. I appreciate that, because obviously if Worf is going to go crazy, Beverly's done. But she knew that he had more sense than that. He wouldn't do that. So this was actually really cool. Again, while the cure was so basic, I'm just like, oh, okay, I know what they did. It was the process of what they did that was actually really cool, and the how do I say this? The interactions that they had with each other, that was actually really cool. I dug that. Anyhow, the ending is what was actually really cool. The last page, that was hot, man. That was very cool. So they are going to actually continue with this story of Barclay's not actually supposed to be there. He's the fake Barclay. He's from the other dimension, the Dark Mirror verse. Very cool that they're continuing with this storyline. I figured they had to, but they went a couple of issues without even addressing it, Anyway, guys, fun issue. I loved this. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.